Welcome again to another Worship Wednesday, and I'm continuing to talk about some of the books that have been impactful in my life over the last few years. And today I want to talk about a book by Jeremy Riddle called The Reset. And this is a book that actually one of my friends, Quentin Bemis from Sherwood Oaks, who's the worship pastor there, he suggested, and I read back in October of 2025. And the book's focus is kind of in the subtitle. It's Returning to the Heart of Worship and a Life of Undivided Devotion. Riddle is a worship leader, pretty well known, and he writes a lot of songs. And Riddle's premise is that modern worship has really changed the way we as worship leaders and even the congregation thinks about worship. He suggests that because of the way our Western church is set up, a lot of time the worship pastor, the worship leader, is honored. He or she is the focus of the worship, and the congregation a lot of times can come in and be pretty distant from worship. Their lives aren't worship, and maybe the only worship they're getting is on Sunday morning. That it's turned the congregation into inactive observers. And Riddle's whole purpose of the book is to change that mindset, to have a reset in the way we view worship and the way we view leading worship. I love the chapter about knowing God. He talks about the way we know God is really to study. It's to pray. It's to spend time with Him. Worship is an outpouring of our hearts. So if we don't know Him, if we're not spending time with Him, if we don't know who He is, who His character is, how the Bible reveals Himself, then we're not going to be able to truly give Him what He deserves. Our worship, our singing, our playing won't honor, it won't please God. So how do we know if our worship, if our lives, if the songs we sing on Sunday, if how we play on Sunday, how do we know if it pleases God? Well, we know God. We spend time with Him. Our lives, these songs are really just, again, they're an outpouring of what we've already experienced through the week. And unfortunately, a lot of us, that outpouring only happens in brief moments. It's not a daily thing. It's not an even maybe a few times a week thing. It's something that happens on Sundays. Riddle explains that a lot of people love the idea of loving God. You know, I love the idea, but to actually put it into practice, it doesn't happen as frequently as it should. He spends a lot of time talking about if we're going to know the character of God, if we're going to really love God, then we have to dig in and we have to study for ourselves. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6 says, "My people are destroyed for a lack of understanding. Because you have rejected knowledge, God says, I reject you from being a priest." And if you know the New Testament, those of us who follow Jesus, we are the royal priesthood. And God says, if we don't know Him, if there's not knowledge, if there's not understanding, then we are rejected as priests, because really we're not reflecting, we are not being the priests we are called to be. So today, may we honor God by knowing Him, by spending time with Him, by digging into His Word, by spending time in prayer, meditation. May we not just partake in God on Sunday mornings, but instead may we really spend time with Him in at least a daily thing. My hope is that Sundays would become a reflection of what we're doing through the week. It's just, again, an outpouring of our relationship with Him. I want to end with Psalm chapter 34, verse 8. And if you've been around me very, very much over the last year, you know this is one of my favorite verses. It says, "Oh, that we would taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in Him." Today, may we taste and see on our own, not based on reels, not based on short clips that we're seeing, not based on what someone else says that God is good or God is bad, but may we taste and see for ourselves that God is good. May we have a reset in the way we think about worship. Shalom.